When the law of attraction becomes the law of distraction. What is the law of attraction? Well, this is a concept that was made popular by, a lot of people engaging in New Age type thinking that if you just think of something long enough and hard enough and clearly enough, that it's going to manifest in your life in amazing ways. Now, I'd heard of this concept, and it was certainly made very popular by books like The Secret, which was massively endorsed by very popular people like Oprah Winfrey, as well as many success coaches like Bob Proctor, Jack Canfield, and Brian Tracy. In fact, Brian Tracy thought so highly about the law of attraction that it was number 4 in his book, The 100 Absolutely Unbreakable Laws of Business Success. So, not only in those 2 books, but also Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles, you got the book, The Alchemist, The Game of Life and How to Play It, and many, many others. And all of them are saying pretty much the same thing, that our thoughts manifest what we want in our lives, and all we have to do is think clearly enough, and things will just magically show up. Let me say this. I will recognize that there is an inherent power of positive thinking. In fact, as a coach for business owners and as a consultant for mid-level executives and executive teams, I highly encourage positive thinking. In fact, my coaching and consulting sessions, even in my own meetings with my own staff, start out with wanting to know their victories and wins. In fact, I have conversations like that with my chief of staff all the time, because I want to set up everyone in a positive frame of mind before we get into whatever it is we have to discuss. With people in a positive state of mind, I will coach people into getting extremely clear on their personal and business visions for the way they want things to look like, and creating behavior that is in alignment with those visions. So, thinking positively is surely a good thing and a necessary ingredient. Thinking negatively, on the other hand, tends only to bring in more negativity. So yes, I will absolutely concede that like attracts like. It stands to reason. More positivity allows and attracts more positivity, and more negativity attracts more negativity. However, to suggest that all we have to do is think positively is setting yourself up for failure and disappointment. Admittedly, I played a part in disseminating the idea of a law of attraction for a brief period. This ideology that you are the source and that everything that happens is in some way a reflection of what you brought upon yourself. That you are sourcing things into your life. That if you won the lottery, you sourced that into your life. That if you slip and fall and break a bone, that you sourced that into your life. It even goes so far as to suggest that things outside of your control are things you sourced into your life. For example, if you get hit from behind in your car sitting at a red light, that you somehow sourced that into your life. Right. Examples like that go from sublime to ridiculous, and sometimes outright dangerous. Some people believe that with just enough positive thought, they can turn a cancer diagnosis into full remission. This is where well-intentioned people are giving out advice that is just flat dangerous. Look, when we use the word law, in this context, we're not talking about something legal, we're talking about something scientific. And scientists begin with a hypothesis, which is just sort of a guess of what might happen in a given circumstance. Then scientists investigate the hypothesis, and they follow a line of reasoning and eventually formulate a theory. And a theory is just a best guess of what will happen, but still not proven to be true. Once a theory has been thoroughly vetted and tested in various environments and situations, then, and only then, is it universally accepted and becomes scientific law. Remember, there was once a theory of gravity, which after thorough testing and observation is something that has been proven to be true in all situations. This is not the case of the law of attraction. Look, words matter. And if anything, this whole concept of law of attraction exists and is perpetuated because of something known as a survivorship bias. A survivorship bias is best described with an example. So let's say you run into an old friend from high school and he's doing really well financially. He tells you that he's made a fortune by trading stocks. And you know a few other people who trade stocks, and they seem to be doing well too. So the fact that he is successful can easily lead you to the conclusion that A, he is financially successful, and B, he buys and sells stocks. Therefore, the way to get rich is to buy and sell stocks. This is where you should stop and think, okay, how many people buy and sell stocks that lose their shirts and go broke and you never hear about them? Well, we hear about those rags to riches stories all the time, of people who once slept in their cars, did some sort of amazing business deal, and now they live in a massively huge house that curves with the earth. We hear those stories all the time. But do we hear much about the people who sleep in their cars, took the chance of an amazing business deal, and still live in their cars because it didn't work out? Of course not. We only hear about the survivors. That's a survivorship bias. And this is what keeps the whole idea of a law of attraction perpetuating. We hear examples of where, following the law of attraction, where it worked out positively. all the survivors, if you will. We hear of the people who just thought positive thoughts and suddenly things just worked out for them because of the law of attraction, whether through business deals, a healthy prognosis, or just simply lottery tickets. How many people have gone to their graves where things did not work out for them? If the law of attraction were a true scientific law, like the law of gravity, shouldn't it be true every single time? Wouldn't everyone in the world be a millionaire? Would there be no fat people? Would the people just stop dying of cancer? This is the dangerous side of the law of attraction. Since it's called a law, all I have to do is think of a pile of cash or even a large caramel macchiato, and that one will magically appear on my desk, right? Of course not. That's because the law of attraction is not a law. This is why I say the law of attraction is more like a law of distraction. Don't get me wrong, there are massive benefits to thinking positively and attracting positivity in your life. I'll cover that here in a second. But it's not enough just to think positively. When there is actual work and physical effort involved, you massively increases your chance of success in getting what you want. I do believe we attract more of what we put out, but words matter, and I'd rather call this the cumulative effect of positivity or the cumulative effect of negativity, and certainly not a law that follows strict rules. Like I said, there are massive benefits to thinking positively as opposed to thinking negatively. First of all, by defining what we do want in our lives, it allows us to engage a very powerful part of our brain known as the reticular activating system. We've all experienced the reticular activating system in that maybe your neighbor buys a brand new car and all of a sudden you start seeing that type of car everywhere. That's the reticular activating system, or RAS, at work. And you can use this to your advantage with your own personal vision and goals. If you think nothing but negative thoughts, well shoot, that's like going to the grocery store with a list of all the things you don't want to buy. So let's stack things in your favor by thinking positively and by defining the things that you do want. There's a ton of other reasons to think positively. It allows you to see and experience more positive things in your life. It allows for things like kindness and creativity to come into your life and stay. And it allows you to be fully mentally present. The best reason, at least for me, is it allows you to share that positivity with others. Let's face it, we can't impart to others what we don't possess in ourselves. I hope you found this helpful. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and of course, we'll see you next time.